For this assignment, I examined what factors may have influenced respondents' vote intention for the Conservative Party during the 2011 federal election. The data used for this analysis comes from the 2011 Canadian Election Study dataset. The analytical approach being used are bivariate correlations and multiple regression with test of statistical significance, in which the raw summary index was used. The importance of this investigation is that the 2011 federal election resulted with a conservative majority government. Due to the discrepancies involved with our electoral system, the conservatives received a majority of the seats in the House of Commons, even though they only received 39.6% of the votes. The results of the election ended its three consecutive minority governments, as well as replacing the Liberal Party with the NDP as the official opposition party in the House. The item numbers and full question wording of the variables used for the summary index of conservative vote intention is displayed below the table. The first two variables were recoded so that they range from 0 to 10 instead of 0 to 100, so they corresponded with the range of the last variable. In this reliability analysis scale, we see that the alpha value is 0.90 and the standardized alpha is 0.91, indicating that the questions are related, as well as they each tap a particular dimension of conservative vote intention and therefore can be combined into an index. Moreover, when looking at the values for alpha if item deleted, we see that removing the last column, MBS11_D1, yields a higher alpha value. The frequency distribution of the raw summary index ranges from 0 to 30. As a result, I was unable to display the table, but I will, however, discuss the relevant univariate statistics. As you can see, the median and mean scores are the same, meaning that the middle and average response by respondents was at the halfway point in terms of their vote intention for the Conservatives. A standard deviation of 9 indicates an average deviation from the mean on a bell curve distribution. For the frequency distribution of the recoded summary index into three categories, we can see that on average, respondents had a low vote intention for the Conservative Party. Furthermore, the middle respondent and the frequency distribution had a medium vote intention for the Conservatives. And lastly, the majority respondents, or 39%, had a low vote intention for the Conservative Party, followed by 32% and 29% of respondents who had a high and a medium vote intention, in that order for the Conservative Party. For two of my independent variables relating to short-term issues, the rationale behind their respective hypotheses was drawn from the issue ownership theory. According to the theory, people tend to vote for a particular political party they perceive to be the most competent in achieving a particular issue. From this rationale, I hypothesized that people who oppose same-sex marriage will be more likely to vote for the Conservative Party than for an alternative party, or people who support same-sex marriage are less likely to vote for the Conservative Party. As for scrapping the gun registry, because the Conservative Party supported scrapping the gun registry and the NDP and the Liberal Party opposed it, I hypothesize that the more supportive one is of scrapping the gun registry entirely, the more likely they will be to vote for the Conservative Party than for an alternative party. According to the retrospective voting model, people tend to reward the incumbent if they perceive that the economy is performing well and punish the incumbent when it is not by voting for an alternative party. From this rationale, I hypothesize that people who perceive that the economy is becoming better will be more likely to vote for the incumbent, the Conservative Party, than for an alternative party. A Pearson's R value of 0.347 indicates a strong positive relationship in which attitudes towards scrapping the gun registry explains approximately 12% of the variation in the examination of conservative vote intention. A Pearson's R value of 0.537 indicates a strong positive relationship in which perceptions about the performance of economy explains approximately 29% of the variation in the examination of conservative vote intention. A Pearson's R value of 0.316 indicates a strong inverse relationship in which opposition or support for same-sex marriage explains approximately 10% of the variation in examination of conservative vote intention. The two asterisks indicate that the statistical significance of each relationship is at 0.01 level, meaning that the results were not due to chance. Looking at the B values, we see that a category change in attitudes towards scrapping the gun registry is associated with a 1.428 unit change in conservative vote intention. Second, we see that a category change in perceptions about the performance performance of the economy is associated with a 6.838 unit change in conservative vote intention. Both of these unstandardized regression coefficients are positive, indicating a positive relationship. We see that a category change in support for same-sex marriage is associated with a 2.188 unit change in conservative vote intention. However, the negative coefficient in this instance indicates an inverse relationship such that a unit increase on one variable causes a unit decrease on another variable. Again, each relationship is statistically significant at 0.01 level, meaning that the results were not due to chance. When we look at the standardized regression coefficients, we see that perceptions about economic performance had the greatest impact on conservative vote intention. The value of the adjusted R-square indicates that the combination of independent variables explained approximately 37% of the variation for conservative vote intention, with a statistical significance at 0.01, meaning that the results were not due to chance. If you look at the tolerance values and the RepStats output for multiple regression, you will notice that there is no concern for multi-collinearity such that the independent variables are not closely related to one another. However, in the previous slide, this is not the case. For example, gun registry and perceptions about economic performance had a Pearson's R value of 0.17, indicating that the variables are closely related. Pearson's R values and the understandardized regression coefficients confirm the hypotheses in terms of the direction of the association that the independent variables had with the dependent variable. The standardized regression coefficients, or the beta value, did meet my expectations. In assessing for collinearity, the tolerance values and the Pearson's R values differs in terms of determining whether or not the independent variables used in this analysis were closely related. In addition to a person's position on a particular issue, more research could be done on the importance of a particular issue in influencing vote choice or vote intention for a particular political party. With regards to perceptions about economic performance, it can be argued that many people are susceptible to advertisements they see on a daily basis, and therefore further research can be done on people's susceptibility in relation to the Canadian government's Economic Action Plan